Hi, and welcome to the next video in my Earthworks vegetation series. In this video, I'm rewriting all of the Bezier animations for a third time, building some new plants to test it all with, finishing the import and export functionality, and finally putting it all together in a scene. In the last video, I covered Bezier Animations and loved the result. It was fluid, smooth, there's extremely little distortion in the plant even at extreme bend values. Unfortunately, I came back after my break and realized that there was a bug in the system and it broke down horribly on small fat leaves, while looking great on tall thin grass like this. So it was time to explore some of the other options. Luckily, there's a simpler version of this animation that I've always wanted to try for speed reasons. With normal nested animation, it's necessary to animate the subsequent pivot points, and only from there work your way out towards the leaf. This requires 10 sets of animations to be applied for pivot point 4 deep. It is, however, possible, especially with vegetation, to start at the tip and slowly work your way backwards. This technique is definitely less accurate, since it calculates the axis of rotation slightly wrong, especially in extreme wind conditions. But that's also when it's least noticeable. And in the end, I was really impressed with the technique. Love that it requires only 4 calculations instead of 10 for the same level of nesting. And the results speak for themselves. So I will most likely stay with this in the future. While branches bend and sway in the wind, I wanted to add extra flutter to the leaves. Leaves typically have large surface areas and small bendable stems. They tend to dance in the wind. For this, I built a small weed plant to explore it further. This means that leaves now have 3 sets of animation applied to them. They will bend in the direction of the wind, sway perpendicular to the wind, and then lastly flutter at a higher frequency, perpendicular to their own normals. While writing GPU buffers to file is easy, I always wanted a system that was more flexible than that. At the very least, I wanted to be able to write a single plant in all of its variations to one file, and my importer to be intelligent enough to be able to load new files, combine all the buffers together, load the materials, remap them, remap all of the offsets. I expect most games will actually go and just combine all of the vegetation in a single scene together and write it to a single file for faster load times. But at the very least, this is the functionality that the editor needs to be able to import and edit these scenes, and it allows for hot loading of new plants in the middle of a game as you move along. For now, I love the way that the Bezier animation is working. I feel that it captures the way that wind pushes on plants really well, and that the movement is really fluid and smooth, and captures what vegetation does. In the near future, I want to concentrate on getting all of this into my world, and then move back to trees, which will still require a fair bit of work. They are just that much larger and requires that much more optimization to get to run this well.